Coming up, how Iowa City is calling for action amid ongoing conflict in Iran.
And a month-long celebration of culture struts into its final week, how Black Future Fest is bringing fashion forward.
Warmer temperatures all week long. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
All that and more
Coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning, live from Iowa City. It is Monday, February 16th. I'm Morgan Burhans.
And I'm Kate Vernon.
And the third member of our team, Annika Perez, is live at the pedestrian mall with today's weather forecast.
Annika, it was a pretty warm weekend. Will we need our coats on the way to class this week?
Morgan and Kate, today you won't need any winter coats because right now it is 38 degrees and only getting warmer. Today I am here in downtown Iowa City where it is currently beautiful. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining. Taking a look at temperatures later, things will keep warming up as the sun shines. We'll see a high of 67 in the afternoon. Later on in the evening, temperatures will be around 55 as things cool down when the clouds creep out. Tomorrow the sun hides away and cloudy skies are out all day with a high of 63. But don't worry, a high is still in the low 60s. You know, I will definitely be enjoying my walk to class and I might even study outside. For now, I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Annika. And Saturday, dozens of protesters took advantage of the warm weather, advocating for Iranian citizens who are facing oppression. It's all part of conflict happening under the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and their call to action from here in Iowa City.
The protesters gathered to express their opposition to the Iranian government and the need to help the Iranian citizens.
We just want to be the voice of people who are oppressed and cannot talk.
In December of 2025, Iranian citizens began protesting the Islamic Republic following an economic collapse. The protesters were then met with a deadly response from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
Last 47 years, government in Iran has been killing and being involved in terrorism around the world.
Protesters are calling for action not only from policymakers, but also from the entire world.
This is really a right time to come to the aid of Iranian people by supporting them, by putting a lot more pressure on the Iranian government.
We want the world to stand with us. If you have a voice, please speak up, because if the Islamic regime goes away, like if Iran is free, then the Middle East will be free.
Although there is much discourse surrounding the current conflict in Iran, protesters are simply here advocating for human lives.
A lot of people think that these are just stories made up because it's so horrific. They just want to filter it out. But it is not. These are true stories coming out.
Amid escalating tensions between the U.S. and Iran, the Trump administration is ramping up pressure. Earlier this year, U.S. President Donald Trump deployed more military forces into the region, including a second aircraft carrier, while pushing for a new deal to curb Iran's nuclear and missile programs. Trump has said military action could be on the table if negotiations fail.
The Iowa City community is mourning the loss of 18-year-old Parker Sutherland. The Iowa City native graduated from City High in 2025 and went on to play football at the University of Northern Iowa. He died early Saturday morning after a medical emergency at the Unidome, but an official cause of death has not been announced. Sutherland was a football, basketball, and baseball player for the City High Little Hawks. In a statement, Iowa City High Athletics said, during his time, he never failed to pick up his teammates or make them smile. Our thoughts are with those who are mourning Sutherland's death. A night of love and liberation. Community members gathered at the Iowa City Senior Center on Valentine's Day to take a step into the future. One of Black Future Fest's big events was a fashion show where designers got to share their stories through clothing. DITV's Kabedi Mutumba shows us how the month-long festival is celebrating Black creativity.
After months of planning and several events, it's now time for the finishing touches. The Black Future Fest month-long celebration ends this week, and organizers seem determined to end it on a high note.
3 designers, 3 visions. For organizers, models, and designers, this event was a way to take a break from everyday life and strut into a new world.
The second to last event of the festival was a fashion show celebrating Afrofuturism, bringing lessons from the past into the future.
So Afrofuturism is, it's like looking at, it's not forgetting the past, right? Like we know the past happened, but it's also like thinking about community and how we come together collectively to be creative.
Creativity was on display throughout the afternoon as the event started with the opening of an art gallery. For model Diggy Smith, the fashion show was a way to recognize the cultural contributions of Black Americans.
Because we need to be seen. Everything we do is already being copied and iterated in some sort of way, so we need to show them that we are the original blueprint of everything that's going on in the world today.
Despite the bright lights and colorful clothing, community was the star of the show. Black Future Fest hopes to keep bringing people together until Thursday, February 19th, closing the festivities with a community discussion at Dream City. At the Iowa City Senior Center, Kabili Mutamba, DITV.
And Iowa House lawmakers are looking to improve security for legislators in the state.
DITV's James O'Connor joins us live in the newsroom on why lawmakers are now making their safety a top priority. James?
Yes, Morgan and Kate, many lawmakers are fearing for their safety following recent violence in the nation. A proposed bill in the House would allow state electives and lawmakers to receive a one-time payment of $5,000 for a homeland security system. This would allow for them to feel safe inside and out of the House. Speaker of the House, Pat Grassley, says that he would like for them to keep their radars up with all the violence in the nation, and is showing support towards increased safety measures. Senate President Amy Sinclair is urging for politicians to collaborate on these safety precautions and put their political views aside. Sinclair says, quote, "I call on all of us to do a better job and set a positive example of what civility looks like in our political discourse. We're all human beings created in God's image, and we need to remember that not just as today as we rejoin, but every day." And Iowa couples may soon skip the no-fault divorce starting at the marriage license. A bill is moving through the Iowa Senate that would let couples opt out of the state's long-standing no-fault divorce system when applying for a marriage license. Couples could sign a waiver and later, if they decide to divorce, would have to prove a specific cause like adultery, abandonment, or abuse in court. Supporters say it gives more choices and reflects their personal beliefs. But critics, including advocates against domestic violence, warn it could make it harder for someone in an abusive relationship to leave. The proposal has advanced in the committee and now heads towards a full Senate vote. And the Daily Iowan will continue providing updates as proposed legislation continues. Live in the newsroom, James O'Connor, DITV News.
And an update in the Fieldhouse Bar and Grill's liquor license. City Council will vote Tuesday on whether to renew the business's liquor license. City officials say the establishment is licensed as a restaurant but has been operating more like a bar. At a previous meeting, the assistant city attorney said police found no menus or a clear way to order food items. The council previously voted to suspend the license for 2 weeks, but that decision was rescinded after the city found it an error in its code. Fieldhouse filed an appeal. Documents show the business cannot qualify for a liquor license because of a city rule where bars must be at least 500 feet apart. The council will now decide whether to renew the license. We'll have the results in Wednesday morning's newscast.
100 years of Hawkeye history. The Iowa Memorial Union has served as a gathering place for generations of students, from study sessions to major campus events. The university celebrated the union's centennial with a gala honoring its impact. DITV's Annika Perez shows us how the IMU continues to shape student life today. I apologize for technical difficulties. We're going to move on to the next segment. Exciting things are coming to Iowa City this week.
Absolutely, Morgan, and it's all part of a free week, a chance for many to check out new events across campus and downtown, all completely free.
DITV's Kenna Murtis joins us live outside the pedestrian mall with a closer look at these events. Kenna?
Kate and Morgan. I'm here at the pedestrian mall where people are already scouting out the start of Free Week Monday through Sunday. All the events this week are free for all Iowa City members. This is all thanks to Think Iowa City and the Iowa City Downtown District. This is the second year of Free Week, where more than 50 events and performances are already exciting people. Visitors can attend concerts, silent disco night, comedy acts, and many more, all for free. All events can be found on the Iowa City Downtown District website. This week's goal is to energize Iowa City to get out during those quiet winter months. We will have the full week's coverage on DITV. Live from Iowa City, I'm Kenna Murtis, DITV News.
Well, thank you so much for that, Kenna. And wow, the weather has been absolutely beautiful outside.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried it's going to be the fall spring, so I'm really worried that we're going to need coats again.
I know. I really, really hope that we can just keep this warm weather. I love walking to class in it. I love going outside. It just makes life so much better.
Yeah, it's been so nice. So let's send it back out with Annika, who is the rest of this week's temperatures. Annika?
Morgan and Kate, we might have some beautiful warmth today and tomorrow, but that might not last because it looks like there's another cold front sneaking in. Let's take a look at the pedicrest. Wednesday will be the last day in the 60s for a minute, but the wind will take control, hitting up to 30 miles per hour. Thursday starts that chill again with highs in the upper 40s and lows in the high 20s. And it's a slippery slope from there, as Friday will get up to the high 30s with mostly cloudy skies. Saturday brings us up just a bit to the low 40s before Sunday strikes us down to the mid 30s, but at least we'll see a little extra sun. You know, even though we've got some slightly colder temperatures, it does look like spring is right around the corner. Live from downtown Iowa City, I'm Annika Perez, DITV.
Well, thank you, Annika. And today is a very special day as it is President's Day.
This means national parks are free.
Today also kicks off this year's National Park Services fee-free days, giving many a chance to explore the places that tell our nation's story and showcase America's natural beauty.
There are only 10 days this year where you can get into any national park for free. What's your favorite national park?
Honestly, I love the Badlands. That is about the only one I've been to be honest, unfortunately. I should definitely go to more. Well, thank you so much for joining us online or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
We are live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. and online anytime at dailyiowan.com.
For all of us here, thank you for watching and stay tuned for DITV's sports segment In the Zone after the break.
We are anxiously waiting for those votes for not only the national election, but here in District 1.
Advancing to the quarterfinals, Iowa looks to boost their overall placement and their way into the semis.
Hi DITV, my name is Lucy Rodine. I am a college football personality for the Dan Le Batard Show, and I worked at DITV from 2016 to 2020-ish as the sports director. And I wanted to wish DITV a congratulations on 20 years, only 1 year away from legal drinking. One of the more exciting parts about getting to see DITV is actually coming back and seeing the way that it has grown and improved, and it's such a quality production, and I'm so proud of the students and all the hard work they've put in, except for everyone knows my years were the best. My years have widely been considered the best, and everyone says that.
Hello everyone and welcome back to DITV Sports in the Zone. I'm Cole Krieger.
And I'm Morgan Burhans. We're going to break down everything that happened over the weekend in Hawkeye sports.
Now Morgan, I am so happy to be back here on In the Zone. It's been a minute.
I know.
But starting off, there was a lot this weekend. It was Valentine's Day and there was some heartbreak at the Iowa men's basketball game. They saw their first sellout crowd in over 2 years on Saturday. And I was courtside. The atmosphere was electric as Iowa looked to pull off the upset against the 13th ranked Purdue Boilermakers.
number 13 Purdue was welcomed to a hostile Carver crowd in Iowa City, the first sold-out crowd in the Ben McCollum era.
But unfortunately for the 15,000 in the Carver crowd, there was a lid on the basket for the full 40 minutes as the Hawkeyes kept missing opportunities.
The Hawkeyes started the game just 2 for 12 from deep and didn't improve in half number 2, shooting just 27% on the night.
And I think the better shots you take, the better rhythm you have, the better flow you have, the more you make it. Like, we made shots down the stretch in that second half when we just went pure motion.
There's just no way around it. They need those makes. They need scoring from some other guys in other areas to be able to get that balance.
The story was a complete opposite for Matt Painter's crew, as the Boilermakers were a marksman from 3, shooting 40% and 47% from the field overall.
It's really frustrating just because we're getting the looks that we want and then we're missing, and then it's putting a lot of pressure on our defense because it's turning into transition, and so then that's kind of slowing our defense down, and then we're not scoring, and then it's just such a long run of not scoring and then making the defense hard, and then finally when we finally figure the offense out, we're so far in a hole that it's so hard to come back. Like, just got to figure out a way to do it from the jump.
Iowa's poor shooting effort led them to a 78-57 loss, marking their second loss in a row.
But I'm not embarrassed, and I'm proud of my team. I'm not proud of our performance tonight whatsoever. I am ready to fight, and we're going to fight, and that's what we do.
13 for 50. That's how Iowa has shot over its last 2 games, both games ending in losses. In order to find its groove, Iowa will have to beat multiple ranked opponents during the final stretch of this season. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, Cole Krieger, DITV Sports.
Well, Morgan, it's safe to say that things definitely did not look good for the men on Saturday, but the Iowa women's basketball team hopefully can raise some Hawkeye fan spirits.
Yes, exactly that. They have been doing great lately, and it's an early game day and rivalry day for Iowa. We have DITV's Colin Carruthers in Lincoln, Nebraska to give us a preview of the upcoming matchup.
Good morning, guys, and as you can see right behind me is Pinnacle Bank Arena. We're in about just 2 hours. Those 15th ranked Hawkeyes will be taking on the hosts, Nebraska Cornhuskers. Iowa is coming off a top 25 victory to break up a 3-game losing streak, but now this game feels like a tone setter for the remainder of the season. This is a good Nebraska squad with only 9 losses, but they enter with a 4-game losing streak, so now is the perfect time for Iowa to strike. All full coverage of this President's Day special on the Daily Island YouTube page and DITV Sports Instagram page. Guys.
Well, thank you for...
All right, we're going to take a look at the basketball standings. We'll start with the women's side of things here. You see Iowa down in the number 4 spot. The top 4 teams are going to get byes in the Big Ten tournament, so we're almost at that point in the season. They recently beat Washington down here in the 9 spot. That was a close game. Washington, a better record than some of the teams around them. And their opponent against Nebraska is all step out of the way. All the way down here at 12, so this is a winnable game for the women's side as they get ready in the crunch time in the season. Let's flip over to the men's side of the bracket now, where the Hawkeyes find themselves ranked 8th on the season, 8-6 in conference play. They've been struggling as of late. You see the recent game against number 4 Purdue there, and then it doesn't get any easier on Tuesday with a game against number 3 Nebraska. So as the season picks up for them, it's getting harder and harder as they go. The women half a game into the first round byes. The men 3.0 games back of first round byes overall, and that's your look at the standings. Now, you may have heard the term Quad 1 being floated around basketball discussions, especially for the men's teams. They're still on the bubble and their tournament fate is yet to be decided. Wins and losses, like the 18-7 record, do matter, but the quality of them is what matters more for making the big dance in March. Every team wants to get Quad 1 wins, which mean beating a top 30 ranked opponent at home, a top 50 opponent at a neutral site, or a top 75 ranked opponent on the road. For example, Iowa's season opening win over Robert Morris was a Quad 4 win, one against a vastly inferior opponent that has little bearing on their overall perception. However, the loss against Purdue over the weekend was a chance to get a Quad 1 win, which is the most valuable kind, but instead it went down as a Quad 1 loss. However, it isn't held against them as harsh, for example, as say their Quad 3 loss against Maryland the other week. The fine margins that decide who make the big dance often come down to Quad 1 wins. Iowa has a chance to pick up another against Nebraska on Tuesday. Back to you guys.
Now switching over from the hardwood over to the wrestling mat, Iowa Hawkeye Wrestling hosted its final duel of the season against number 10 Michigan on Friday.
Yeah, and it was a win that they really badly needed. And we had Nick Isles there, who has the recap of what became a dogfight to the end at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
It has been an up and down season for Iowa men's wrestling, and senior night's duel against Michigan was no different. Pace of play and patience were the key indicators for Tom Brands and his Hawks as they sealed the deal 19-17 against the Wolverines. The Carver faithful made their way to their seats for one final time this season. Senior night festivities in place for after the duel, but for the Hawkeye wrestlers, business to take care of first. Despite Iowa being down 10-0 through 3 matches, senior Michael Caliendo secured the program's first points of the duel, splitting Michigan's lead in half, and that being his last win in front of the home crowd.
It was just foot on the gas. Smart wrestling, foot on the gas.
Several more Hawkeyes kept the team alive as Gabe Arnold defeated number 7 Brock Mantanona in electrifying fashion. And true freshman Harvey Luddington got his first win at Carver, going up 6-4 in his match.
That's awesome. I mean, I've never felt anything like that. I mean, obviously in high school, like being in Jersey, you have a big arena for state and stuff, but it's nothing like Carver Arena. Hearing everybody yelling, it's like one big noise. It's just awesome.
The duel came down to the final 2 matches, Dean Peterson securing the takedown to win 4-1 over his opponent, igniting the Carver crowd. And then it all rested on his shoulders. Takedown after takedown, 2 in the first period, 5 in the second. Iowa put a cap on the duel and his Carver career.
It was a fitting end. Did it for my team, did it for my family, and wrestled how Drake Ayala wrestles.
I just kept getting crazier and crazier. I'd like put the biggest smile on my face. This Drake just doesn't stop, dude. So it was like each takedown just kept getting more hyped. It's awesome.
Now the 6 Iowa seniors may have had their final matches here in Carver Hawkeye Arena, but their season is not over yet as they travel to Purdue and then Oklahoma State. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, Nick Isles, DITV Sports.
And Cole, the weather is getting warmer outside, which means that spring sports are in full swing.
That's right, Morgan. Nick Isles is standing by in Nick's Nook with the latest on Hawkeye baseball and softball.
Morgan Cole, after a 15-6 loss against Kansas State, Hawkeye baseball soared higher than Air Force Saturday night, defeating them 4-3 at the MLB Desert Invitational. Graduate transfer Logan Rundy pitched just over 5 innings with 6 strikeouts and no walks. In his collegiate debut, Kyle Olivo allowed 1 run but closed out the game to secure the first win and his first earned save. Congrats to him. Yesterday, the Hawks handled business in a high-scoring affair with Northeastern, defeating them 21-13. That is a football score if I've ever seen one. Northeastern got to a 4-0 start until the Hawks scored 8 in the 3rd inning to lead their way to victory. Iowa returns to action on Tuesday for their home opener versus UW-Platteville. Staying on the diamond, the Iowa softball team was down in Macon, Georgia this weekend, playing in the MUSB Invitational. Starting on Friday, the Hawkeyes took down Army 7-6 and later handled Mercer 10-2. Then on Saturday, the Hawks were back for day 2 and dominated once again. Iowa scored 4 runs in the 3rd and 7th inning to walk away with an 8-2 win over Army. Iowa followed up a Saturday doubleheader with a win over Western Kentucky 8-6. The Hawks' 5th and final game against Mercer was canceled due to weather, but with the cancellation, Iowa swept the weekend going 4-0. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Nick. And Cole, with so many Hawkeye sports in action, it is hard to keep up with all of these great plays. So let's do everybody's favorite, the top 3 plays of the week. Cole, can you get us going?
Let's go, Morgan. So right at number 3, we are on the road at Rutgers, and Ora Lee Tran sticks the landing. A new career high 9.9 secures the vault title and helps Iowa win on the road again. Going over to number 2, we're back in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Dean Peterson carrying his opponent like a backpack, down big late in the match, and secures the takedown in a sudden victory to help the Hawks stay alive. And coming in at number 1, another pivotal moment in the wrestling match. Drake Ayala needs to win or else the Hawkeyes lose. Gets the takedown in a 21-5 technical fall to help Iowa win 19-17 against 10th ranked Michigan on senior night.
Cole, it was so great to see all those plays again, and it was a wonderful weekend for Hawkeye sports.
Absolutely, Morgan.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to DITV's On the Zone.
In the Zone, we'll be back next Monday morning for all the latest in Hawkeye athletics.
For Nick Isles, I'm Morgan Burhan.
And for Ryan Paris, I'm Cole Krieger. Thank you for watching and make sure to stay in the Zone.